part of that rule. And I believe the contest is the specific rule that was...
I believe that, and Chairman Diaz, correct me if I'm wrong, was that taken up in the committee in the first place? Was that addressed in the committee and discussed?
Absolutely, and the answer to the question is we went over it several times. Rule 27B3.
Okay. Microphone number 4. I see a blinking light for an interrupting matter. Would you state your name, your district?
Yes, ma'am. My name's Henry Hill. I'm in Senate District 22, McLennan County. My point of order is rule number 1C, temporary and emergency changes. The SREC, in its best judgment by a 2/3 vote of those present at the affairs of the Republican Party, in accordance with the intent and purpose of these rules, such temporary and emergency changes may be made when the conduct, operation, or implementation of these rules will become frustrated or impractical or contrary to their intent and purpose. If by any reason of valid laws enacted by the legislature of the state of Texas, any administrative or judicial action of any officer or agency of the state of Texas or any county or political subdivision thereof or of the federal government. But the way I'm reading this is they're saying we need a different change. They had to follow, and because their instructions said they shall accept what the commission, what the temporary said yesterday. But we have people that are arguing with it, so if we can just address the subject.
Actually, I started to say, I appreciate you reading this rule, but it's dealing with changes that do not occur during convention, and it's addressing the authority of the State Republican Executive Committee, and it's not appropriate here. I see an interrupting motion on the on microphone number 1. State your name, your district, and your business.
Robert Johnson, Senatorial District 25. I appeal from the decision of the chair.
Okay. The decision of the chair has been appealed. The question before this body is, shall the decision of the chair be sustained? Now, the party rules provide the process for challenges and appeals regarding the seating of delegates. There is no authority for bringing to the floor of the convention challenges and appeals that have been properly disposed of under the procedures set out in our rules. To allow such a process, quite frankly, would have to be convention by anarchy. The procedure established under our rules for handling the Nueces County Rump Convention or Rump Delegation issue were properly followed. I would ask the delegates to sustain the decision of the chair and affirm the rule of law in our convention. Are you ready for the question? All those in favor of sustaining interrupting motions are out of order at this point. We will take this vote, then we'll be at a point where we can do that. So, what we are voting on is whether or not to sustain the decision of the chair. All those as favor of sustaining the chair's decision, please stand. Thank you. Please be seated. And remember, only delegates who are seated in the delegate sections may vote. As many as are opposed to sustaining the chair's decision, will you please stand? Thank you. Majority rules. And the majority have spoken and sustaining the ruling of the chair. The motion on seating a rump delegation is out of order for Nueces County, then is out of order at this time. The question now before this body is on the adoption of the temporary role as the permanent role of the convention. Are you ready for the question? Okay, I have an interrupting motion on microphone number 2. If you'll please state your name, your district, and the purpose of your business.
Madam Chairman, this is Brian Crumby, Senate District number 3. I have a point of inquiry.
State your point of inquiry.
On an appeal, how do we have a discussion on topics so that we can discuss it amongst ourselves and then take a vote?
Okay. The problem that you have was no one was raising a motion to discuss either for or against the appeal. The only lights that were on were for interrupting motions, which are inappropriate in a situation like that. There were no lights on for discussion purposes. I see an interrupting motion over on microphone number 1. If you could please state your name, your district, and your business.
Madam Temporary Chair, I'm Tom Schwartz, SD 25, Williamson County. I call for the orders of the day. The order of the day before any permanent committee reports should be listened to is to have a permanent committee chair by state election code.
I'm sorry, but you're out of order. We are on the orders of the day right now. That's exactly where we're getting to. We have to approve our temporary role, our supplemental rules, and our agenda, and that will then make us organized so that we can take up that very matter. I see a motion on microphone number 2. State your name, your district, and your motion, please.
My name is Tracy Hendry, Senate District 7. I move to divide the question.
Divide the house?
What? Divide the house.
Divide the house?
Yeah. Okay, thanks. The motion is out of order. The question is not divisible. The question before this body is to adopt the temporary role as the permanent role of the convention. I see an interrupting motion over on microphone number 4. Would you state your name, your district? Yes, your name, your district, and your business.
Madam Chair, my name is Louis Lowe, District 9, Denton County. Madam Chairman, I would like to state basically that Mr. Diaz is mistaken. The committee did not vote nor rule on this. The chair ruled on this because it was not a challenge. It was only an appeal of a challenge. Thank you, Madam.
I appreciate it, but we have dispensed with that. There's nothing on the floor, but I see an interrupting motion over on microphone number 2. Please state your name, your district, and the matter you wish to address.
Madam Chairman, this is Brian Crumby, SP3. I have a point of inquiry.
State your point of inquiry.
Since several of us did not feel like we were able to discuss the previous question, is it okay for me to reconsider the question in some manner so that we can discuss this? Since we didn't know about the light issue,
unless you voted on the prevailing side to sustain my motion, no, that would not be in order. Okay. So the question before you is on the adoption of the temporary role as the permanent role of the convention. All those in favor of adopting the temporary... I see an interrupting motion on light number 4. If you could state your name, your district, and your business, please.
Yes, ma'am. Excuse me. Madam Chairman, Chad Bishop, Senatorial District 12, Tarrant County. Point of inquiry, please.
State your inquiry.
Since it was ruled out of order to address this issue during the Temporary Credentials Committee, the approval of the temporary role, the Permanent Credentials Committee, and now it seems to be out of order during the approval of the permanent role, what is the proper motion to make to bring the matter of the Nueces County Rum Convention before this body for debate and a vote so that we may clear the air?
Actually, the appropriate procedures would have been to follow the rules set out in the Republican Party of Texas rules in bringing your appeal in the first place. We've already dispensed with that.